Good morning, students. This is Milind Shende, Assistant Professor in English at this College of Commerce, Varda. Today we are going to discuss the short story Whitewashing the Fence, written by Mark Twain. This story is prescribed in Supplementary English subject of BCom Semester 1. So, before we are going to discuss the main story or the main part of the story, I would like to give you some information about the author Mark Twain. Actually, Mark Twain is the pen name used by Samuel Langhorne Clemens. It means Samuel Langhorne Clemens is the original name of the author, and he has used this name, that is Mark Twain, for the purpose of the publication of his literary works. A question must have come in your mind: what is this pen name? Pen name means the name which is used by a person for the purpose of publication of his literary works. Whether it be novel, whether it be short story, whether it be drama, any other fiction, or any literary piece or any form of literature, if a person is using another name for the publication of his work, that is called pen name. So this way, this Samuel Langhorne Clemens has used this particular name for publishing his works. Now, I'd like to give you some information about this person, that is Mark Twain. Furthermore, I would be using the word, or I'd be using the name, that is Mark Twain, so far as this story is concerned, that is Whitewashing the Fence. Mark Twain was an American writer, humorist, and entrepreneur, publisher, and lecturer. He was born on November 30 in the year 1835, and he died on April 21 in the year 1910. He was lauded as the greatest humorist in the United States. But we cannot confine him to his country only, because he is a writer, he is an author, and his name and fame is there across the world. He is well known for his novels, especially across the world, in the entire world, in the whole world. And William Faulkner, who is also one of the most famous authors, has called Mark Twain the father of American literature. He has some outstanding contribution to the field of literature, and some of the most famous, very interesting for the reading purpose, novels written by Mark Twain are, firstly, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. You will find the name Tom Sawyer in this short story also, that is Whitewashing the Fence. So he has published The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, which is a novel, and this novel was published in the year 1876, and its sequel, which he has published with the title The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, which was published in the year 1884, the later often called the Great American Novel. So these two novels are very famous, and it is the greatest contribution by Mark Twain in this world of literature. So far as this story is concerned, the story that we are going to discuss, or which we are discussing right now, entitled Whitewashing the Fence, is actually an extract. It is a part which is taken as a story, the form of story, from his novel The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and that's where you find this name Tom Sawyer in this short story. Now, again, I would like to repeat my words before going ahead. I would like to tell you about the characters in the story. Tom Sawyer is the main character, he is the protagonist. Protagonist means again the chief character or the main character. So Tom Sawyer is the main character in this story. There are some other but important characters. Second, you will find the name of Aunt Polly. Aunt Polly is Tom's aunt. You will find another name, that is Ben Rogers. Ben Rogers is again Ben Rogers is Tom's friend. He has so many friends. The names of some of his friends are given in the story. Second, you will find the name Billy, Billy. He is also Tom's friend. And lastly, you will find this name, that is John Miller. John Miller is also a close friend of Tom Sawyer. So this you will find these 5 main characters are there in this short story, that is whitewashing the fence. Now, if you read the title carefully, if you see the title, if you look at the title, if you study the title closely, you will find 2 major words, 2 important words are there in the title itself. And from the title itself, we get some certain things. We understand something. What whitewashing means? Painting, whitewashing the fence. These 2 are the keywords. I would like to use this particular word, that is keywords in the title, because the title of any piece of literature is too much suggestive, because we understand some certain things from the title. Now, let's go ahead and now we will discuss the main part of the story, the main body of the story, the main story. The story begins with this character, Tom Sawyer. It's Saturday, it's holiday, and Tom, who is just a young boy, thinks that he would enjoy the entire day because he has no any other work, he has no study to do, and that's why he is free to enjoy the whole day. He is in that state of mind. He is happy, but he is very mischievous, and because of his mischievous nature, his aunt, that is Aunt Polly, always punishes him. And this Saturday also, on this holiday also, when he is planning to enjoy the entire day with his friends, to play somewhere with his friends, etc., all these things are there in his mind. Aunt Polly in between punishes him for his mischief in the past, right? So Aunt Polly gives him a work. What is that work? This is the work which is allotted to Tom. What is that work? To whitewash the fence. The fence is very large, very big, and he has to do that work of whitewashing it in a single day, by afternoon. So it is a huge task, it is a big task, and that's why the very next moment this boy Tom becomes sad, becomes nervous. He is very unhappy at heart because of this new task which is given to him by his Aunt Polly. But he is very smart. How? I would like to explain you that also. How he is smart. Out of compulsion, he has to take the responsibility of whitewashing the fence, and secondly, he has to do that work alone. There is no any friend to help him in this work, and that's why he feels somewhat burdened with this whitewashing the fence. But he does not tell anyone or anybody about this, and he does not show that he is nervous at heart. He accepts the challenge. He is very smart guy, as I'll just use this word with regard to Tom. Why I am using this word smart for Tom? Because he plays a trick. He takes a bucket, he takes a brush and goes outside, looks at that large or big fence, and without wasting much of his time, he starts painting those fences. Now he knows that it is not good work for him, because he has thought that he would fully enjoy the holiday, but out of compulsion, because of his mischief, his aunt, that is Aunt Polly, has allotted him this work and also has given the deadline that by afternoon he should complete the task. And that's why he feels somewhat nervous, but he does not show that nervousness on his face. And he plays a trick. What is that trick? One of his friends, Ben Rogers. Ben Rogers comes to Tom when Tom is busy in his work of whitewashing the fence, and he very mockingly says to Tom, "Are you doing work on holidays also?" He's actually teasing him. But Tom is also a very smart guy. He's a very smart boy, and because of that, he does not pay any attention to the comment made by his friend Ben, and he continues with his work of whitewashing the fence. It means Ben Rogers repeats his words. Work on Sunday, work on Saturday, work on holidays also. But this time also Tom does not pay any attention. He totally ignores his friend Ben Rogers. And lastly says, "What work?" Actually, he is burdened with this work, but he does not say anything, and he plays a trick. "What work?" he says. Tom says to Ben, "What work?" It means he wants to say that this is not a work, this is a great task that he alone is capable of doing. He plays this trick because he is a smart guy. You don't get to do this every day. He uses these words, right? It means he wants to show to Ben Rogers that he is actually enjoying that work. It is a great task and he is capable. He has the ability to do that whitewashing. In fact, it is done the way a great task. It is just a simple task, but it is tedious work. And secondly, it is time-consuming work. And thirdly, it is a holiday and he has to play, but out of compulsion because of the fear of his own folly. He has to do it. He has to do that work. He has to complete that work. And when he shows or speaks like this Ben Rogers, his friend, thinks for a while and he thinks that definitely it must be an important work, and that's why his friend Tom is not ready to take any help of Ben Rogers. And therefore, Ben literally becomes the victim of this trick played by his friend Tom, and a kind of curiosity, a kind of interest is created in Ben Rogers, and he requests Tom to let him do the same job or that work of whitewashing the fence. And in exchange of this work, he offers half of the apple which he has at a particular point of time to his friend Tom. But Tom again does not pay any attention, and he continues with his work of whitewashing, totally ignoring Ben Rogers. Again he is furious, and this time he offers the whole apple, and he gives this way the apple to his friend Tom. Now Tom feels somewhat relaxed and he is happy because there is someone to help him, and that also out of happily, not out of compulsion. He himself is ready to help his friend Tom. So this way he plays this trick, and that trick works. Now he has got the company of Ben Rogers to whitewash the fence. Next time what happens? When another person comes there, that is the next character, that is Billy. Billy is also Tom's friend. Billy comes there, and Billy sees that Tom and Ben, both of them are literally enjoying that simple, but according to Ben, very important, great task, they are enjoying. So Billy also requests Tom that he would also help him, but again Tom pretends and continues with his work of whitewashing, and again he ignores, like he has already ignored Ben Rogers, he ignores Billy. Billy sees that both of them are doing this task of whitewashing, maybe because they know how to whitewash. It is really, it must be really a good job. And again, Billy again falls prey to this trick played by Tom. And he, again in exchange of the work, actually it cannot be called exchange. In order to just get this work, or to get involved in this work of whitewashing, he offers, Billy gives or offers Tom his own kites. He gives kites to Tom. After some times, another character appears there, that is John Miller. As I have written on the blackboard, this person or this boy, that is John Miller, was also Tom's friend. John sees that Tom and Ben and Billy, all of them are doing the work of whitewashing. In between, what happens? When Tom gets the company of Ben and Billy for the purpose of whitewashing the fence, he leaves the entire work on the shoulders of these two persons, that is Ben and Billy, and he plays. He is free. Actually, in the very beginning, I told you that he wanted to play, but because of this task, because of heavy work, out of compulsion, he has to get involved in this work of whitewashing the fence. But now he has time and he enjoys that holiday. And in fact, his friends, Ben Rogers and Billy, are working there, right? So in the same way, he plays the same trick with John Miller, and in exchange of the work, this John Miller is also ready to give Tom his marbles. So this way, Tom's trick works, and he takes the help of his friends, Ben Rogers, Billy and John Miller, and by afternoon, the whole work is done successfully, it is completed. Now, the question is, what do we learn from this story, whitewashing the fence? What message do we get from this story? It is what? You must have smartness, and we must do the work collectively, because we can divide the responsibilities and can get the work done easily, smoothly and fastly also. So we learn one thing, that is teamwork, or the importance of teamwork, from this short story, wonderfully written short story, Whitewashing the Fence by Mark Twain. The story ends here and it's done. Thank you.